They are missing some big-name players who would be crucial in a game like this.
Well, Warrington's long-term goal in 2017 is to walk out at Old Trafford on an evening like tonight, under the big lights, and perform at the very best. This is a perfect dress rehearsal against one of the strongest and most famous rugby league clubs in the world. A highly charged and highly motivated Brisbane Broncos team. And Ashton Sims, his team needs to start well to give themselves a chance.
Phil Bentham is the referee here tonight. His video ref is Ben Thaler. And it'll be the Brisbane Broncos to get us underway. Just a bit of drizzle in the air, but by the standards of this World Club Series, and we have seen some weather over the years, the conditions are perfect here tonight as Ashton Sims gets first touch of the game for the Warrington Wolves, who need a good, solid start. And that's a good, solid run from Mike Cooper.
It is a good run from Mike Cooper. He picks out one of the smaller players in the Brisbane side, in Hunt, goes straight through and lands on his front. Maybe have a little look up at where Milford's defending, where Hunt's defending, try and get over the top of the smaller players.
Warrington beaten by the Catalan Dragons in their opening Super League game last week. But room for improvement for them tonight as the ball's returned by David Mead, making his debut for the Brisbane Broncos tonight after his close season signing. Now here's James Roberts up to the halfway line, the Broncos.
Well, Warrington will have to improve the kicks. They only gain 20 metres in that. Territorially, that'll kill them if they can't get more ground when they're trying to exit their own half.
Broncos captain Darius Boyd plays the ball. A big honour for him to captain the side, taking over that role. Josh Maguire plays the ball. Big Herman SCSE moves it on. That's the fifth tackle. Warrington keeping the Broncos at bay at the moment as Hunt drifts a little kick in. The ball is gobbled up by Joe Westerman. Has he got the pace? Has Joe Westerman got the legs? Has he got some support? But he gets the ball over the way up to the 10-metre line. Can they capitalise here now? Surely they can! And Kevin Brown on his debut gets the Warrington Wolves off to the perfect start. But it was Joe Westerman's charge down that paved the way for that try. And Kevin Brown, who had to sit out the round one game because of injury, is an immediate impact on this game. With the simplest, I say simplest, a little dummy, and Brown was in.
Well, the trademark of any Warrington side is kick pressure, and there you see it. Joe Westerman with a long way to go. He thinks about giving the pass to the supporting Kevin Brown. Keeps hold of it. And what about this for Smarts here? Kevin Brown's body's facing open. He goes blind, a show and go, and he gets the Warrington Wolves the first try. It was off the back of a good set in attack. Kick pressure came. Wonderful stuff from the Wolves.
Can there ever be a better first touch for your new club than to score in a World Club Series game here against the Brisbane Broncos? Must have gone to bed last night and hoped for a good start tonight, but could have imagined it would be like that. You know, the Warrington Wolves have had some bad luck in charging down kicks in big games in the past. Grand finals when the ball's bounced to opponents. On that occasion, they've stuck to their principles, they've persevered, and it's provided some points.
Declan Patton then looking to put the cherry on that cake, and he has done. What a start for this Warrington club. 3 minutes now on the clock, and here's Joe Westerman's effort.
It's great play from Joe Westerman, isn't it? Not only does he charge down the kick, he picks up the ball, he's looking, there's no panic. Yep, he doesn't give the ball, he's going to try and transfer the ball, get rid of Hunt, can't get rid of him, and then Kevin Brown, and as Phil said, your first touch on debut, come up with a try in a game so important. What dreams are made of, isn't it?
It's worth mentioning, and old Joe Westerman, I thought he was outstanding last weekend. Difficult trip over to Catalan. The scoreboard they were beaten, but Joe Westerman, he kept going, and that's a great start for the Wolves.
Yeah, Westerman got a lot of plaudits for his effort in defeats in Perpignan last week. He's got a lot of plaudits for that kick charge down. Ben Hunt's just taking a bit too long. And Warrington ahead by 6 points to 0. Exactly the start they wanted. They couldn't have thought it would come from 60-odd metres out.
Really good, Bill. Brisbane defending so tight. Both wingers have dropped back, the full-backs dropped back. Look for Kevin Brown running on the last play.
Brown does exactly that. Here's Ryan Atkins, and it's Atkins who puts the kick in. It's straight down the middle of the field, and Darius Boyd then ships it on to Corey Oates.
Look at that kick chase. Everybody in the line. They were expecting the two-pass kick. Says quite rightly, he spotted the wingers back, 3 players back to catch the ball, but a great kick chase. And he dropped that ball as well. More possession and position.
Little fumble from Jordan Kahu.
Well, they need to just basics of rugby. You get to the end of your set, you get decent field position, you kick on the front foot, you ask questions of the opposition, and then a simple mistake from Kahu.
Well, if Warrington are going to win tonight, they're going to have to take most of the chances. And this, although again early inside the first 5 or 6 minutes here, is another wonderful opportunity. Perhaps before the Broncos get up to speed. 2 tries would be even better than the 1 so far, and really get this crowd excited that tonight could be special.
Ashton Sims just renewing acquaintances there with his former colleagues. And Phil Bentham just asking them to repack the scrum, and Warrington get the penalty.
It's good strength, that, isn't it? Jack Hughes, he wouldn't go down, he wouldn't give up his legs.
They need that tenacity, don't they? Don't be dominated. Don't allow the Broncos forwards to do what they want you to do. They want to disturb you, and they've decided to take 2 points here. That'll just edge the scoreboard. Very, very experienced man there. Won't be panicking. Brisbane Broncos, and of course the England coach will be familiar with a lot of these Warrington players.
So Declan Patton already with 1 goal to his name, looking to extend Warrington's lead. He got all the Wolves grand final points last year. Wasn't enough. And Patton from just about bang in front of the post is bang on target. Warrington ahead by 8 points to 0, and Tony Smith, like his opposite number, knows there's a long, long way to go in this game.
And that's it. The way that they've started in the opening 6 minutes, they've got to continue that for a further 74 minutes. Because Brisbane are just one of those sides that will grind you down, get through the basics, keep asking those questions, knock out the sets.
And you've 2 choices. Do you stick to their tempo, or do you try and raise the tempo, keep the ball in play, kick long, keep the ball in play, and keep the game nice and fast?
So Hunt with the restart. Oof. On almost wrong footing. The Warrington rearguard there.
Turns the ball well, doesn't he? Matty Russell.
This is interesting now to see how much ground they can gain. The Brisbane defence is sprinting forward, and Ashton Sims attempts, doesn't it, to bounce a few defenders, but look, with 3 carries, they're only at the 20-metre line.
Brisbane stung by that early setback, the try, and then conceding the penalty.
Flippy an early kick. No. More yards, more metres to make.
It's quick hands, but quick defence as well from the Brisbane Broncos. 5th tackle, now they will put the kick in, and Boyd, so cool, he came across, just checked his footing, exactly where he was on the field. Chris Evans among the crowd here, taking a break from his broadcasting duties. Nice line in head here.
Brisbane looking to shift the ball out to that left edge. There, Josh McGuire, the man who's carrying the ball, gets through an awful lot of work.
Good run from Andrew McCulloch. Then Hunt hoists that kick. Now, they had trouble in this area last week in France, did the Warrington Wolves, but Kurt Gidley's at fullback today. Wasn't really pressured there.
No, he took that well, but the man who wasn't pressured was the man who kicked the ball, Ben Hunt. Now, he'll take control of most of the kicks, whether it's coming out of yardage or close to the line. You can't let Ben Hunt have that much time putting a high ball in the air, because if he does that, the likes of Kurt Gidley will be under pressure at times in this game.
Ben Hunt moving on at the end of the season. Some George Illawarra his destination. So he's going to be expected to deliver the goods in this farewell season, which starts on March the 2nd when they face Cronulla. Cronulla, of course, faced the Wigan Warriors on Sunday afternoon. The ball shipped wide to Rhys Evans for the Warrington Wolves, and Evans, little chip kick ahead, and it slices. Oh no, it doesn't. And it's kept alive audaciously.
Great tackle, Kevin Brown. It needed to be made that. It was a bit sloppy at the end of that set. A hurried pass. Found the outs, stripping Rhys Evans. And a great defence. There you go. It's a rush kick. Bobbles back in. They need to be alert defence. That's obvious to say. But the Brisbane Broncos can strike from anywhere on the pitch.
And here come the Broncos now into that flurry of play. Joe off Hungawi. And here's the other prop, Herman Esiesi. Big Herman up to the halfway line. Hunt again. The Wolves very quick to try and pressure him, but he gets the kick away. And Gidley runs it back.
That was better pressure and a good set of 6 in defence as well. From the Warrington big forwards in the middle, they were getting numbers in. There was 3 and 4. They were slowing Brisbane down. They weren't making many metres. Then all of a sudden it just allowed then the Warrington players to put pressure on Hunt, who still got a decent kick away, but they still need that pressure. As we go on the second play here, Bill.
40-20.
Ball's kept in by Corey Oates. And the lanky winger will run it back.
And you've got to make sure you're good on Corey Oates. Played in the back row, returns the ball really strong.
Just 1 penalty so far in this game. It's been a really blistering start.
Talk about blistering. He's got some blistering pace. The centre, James Roberts, number 3.
So's this guy, David Mead. Atkins with the tackle. Now in the middle of the field with Maguire, who plays the ball for the Brisbane Broncos.
Punishing run.
Building a bit of momentum here. That's
with a great tackle on the end of it, although the ball gets offloaded.
Sanfide. Brisbane keeping it alive. Sims goes in for a second bite. Little kick from Ben Hunt is into the corner, just too strong.
20-0. Yeah, just too much on that from Hunt and Warrington. Well, regrouping now. See who's going to be taking this ball forward. A couple of the outside backs coming in as well, trying to help the forwards out as Mike Cooper takes a strong challenge from Gillette.
Mike Cooper back in the British game after 3 seasons in the NRL. Here's Tom Lynham. Lynham plays the ball. Jack Hughes brings it up to the halfway line for the Warrington Wolves. And Darryl Clark, sniping run from him, and Brisbane caught on the hop there and penalised.
Well, he's so intelligent, isn't he? Look at that, Jack Hughes not dominated. Brisbane couldn't get back, they couldn't get squared. Darryl Clark spots that. His speed of thought is incredible. But you've got to credit that man in the shot, Jack Hughes.
Okay, boys.
Second penalty of the game then goes in favour of the Warrington Wolves. Brown. Here is Ashton Sims.
First move.
3 there to meet him from the Broncos. Now 10 metres out as Cooper is upended.
Move.
And Brisbane back on their own try line. Warrington looking for more points here. Brown quickly on, back in field. This week, Gidley and Gidley right underneath those posts. Clark, Brown quick hands to Atkins, and Atkins will get a second try for the Warrington Wolves. And Kevin Brown again instrumental. But Ryan Atkins gets his first try of the 2017 season. And again, Brisbane were rolled back and Warrington had the right finishing touch.
Well, Jack Hughes running so strongly. Look, he's not dominated in defence, and Darryl Clark, well, he can spot off the go, he's not back. And Kevin Brown plays with his instincts, doesn't he? And all he wants is players to hit balls. And Alexa, Ryan Atkins, when he comes onto the ball so close to the line, if you're going sideways, if you're on your heels, he's going to get over the top of you. Difficult man to stop.
It's the double pump from Kevin Brown and the foil that's created by Jack Hughes that just holds the defenders up, and you'd back Ryan Atkins one-on-one with most players in the game. The weight of possession has been with the Wolves. They've almost had twice as much possession. They'll have to do some defending at some point. That's where they need to be on the ball.
Worried faces in the Brisbane ranks. Ryan Atkins made the Super League dream team last season for the second time in his career, and it's a dream start for the Warrington Wolves. And Declan Patton, can he maintain his 100% kicking success rate? He has done, 3 from 3. And Warrington lead by 14 points to 0, 14 minutes on the clock.
Well, Ryan Atkins almost won the grand final for Warrington when he went over in the closing stages, but the ball was force free, and I think there was relief on his face and delight that this time he's got over the line. He's put the ball down, and he's certainly helped his team in there with a 14-point advantage in 14 minutes. They should be confident now to take this game to opponents.
We've seen a day of upsets in the round ball game in England. Are we going to see what a lot of people would think would be an upset if Warrington can continue their dominance of this game? Long way to go. And Brisbane will surely respond.
They'll have a say in the game, Brisbane, but the way that Warrington are playing, the forwards are running strongly, they're earning penalties, they're shifting the ball wide. Whenever there's a carry, they're getting outside the tight 3 defenders from Brisbane. You can see again, trying to get to one of the smaller men, not going into the heart of the defence. They're struggling to put Warrington to ground.
And they really haven't had an opportunity to test the Warrington defence at the other end of the field. Brown hoists the kick. It's high into the night sky. And Reid has had the courage of that.
And Bill, as soon as he kicked that ball, that was an attacking kick. He wasn't kicking it into the corner to defend your next set. He lofts it in the air, and the defence gets up because they were anticipating this error.
I don't know how much Warrington paid to witness for the transfer of the star player Kevin Brown, but it looks like money well spent at present, because his touch of magic has certainly lifted the crowd, lifted his team, and there's almost, I don't know, look at the team, they want to be led here now by Brown, and he's certainly standing up to it. He's dictating where they're going to go with this next set of possession.
Brown recruited once it was obvious that Chris Sandow wasn't going to be coming back, having decided he wanted to be back in Australia. And Brown was recruited from the nearby Widnes Vikings. And if he stays fit,
he's a different player, isn't he? He'll lead him around the park. He might not have that X factor like Chris Sandow, but he certainly will benefit this Warrington side.
Sims plays the ball. Here is Brown. Brown, a little short pass, has Kurt Gidley on his shoulder. 15 seasons a Newcastle Knight. Gidley, but now a very popular figure at the Warrington Wolves. Here is Mike Cooper. They're bang in front of those posts again. Brisbane once more having to defend, and Brown once more pulling the strings, getting the pass away out wide, and Russell cutting infield and getting another Warrington try. Warrington are running hot, and the ball spun out wide, and Matty Russell on the wing this week at fullback last week adds his name to this already buzzing scoreboard. 18-0 it is to the Warrington Wolves. The Scottish international, the latest of their try scorers.
Well, Kevin Brown's influence through his kicking game, passing game, and all-round general rugby league IQ is there for all to see. He's there at the beginning, dead pattern, puts a pass, beautiful hands. And what about the agility and dexterity of Matty Russell? He needs to avoid and evade, covering defenders. He has the agility, he's his head down, he knows where he needs to be. And another try for the Warrington Wolves, who are in absolute dreamland at the minute.
What about that ball from Kurt Gidley? He was put under enormous pressure. Gives the ball to Matty Russell, who's incredible when he returns the ball. But Kevin Brown, he's not locked into the left. He's got the free reign of moving wherever he wants on the field. Poor kick here for Dec Patton, now 3 from 3 so far.
This is the most difficult kick, though, Patton has had so far tonight. The point a minute Warrington scoring at. And the youngster has proved to have nerves of steel, and he's landed that one as well. Declan Patton, only 21 years of age, but an old head on young shoulders.
Well, Matthew Russell's had some of his teeth loosened in previous tackles when he's run the ball at the other end of the field, but he shows brilliant finishing ability there, doesn't he? To snake in between 1 or 2 players. And I think that really was a classic winger's try. Give them the ball with 10 metres from the line, even if there's the defenders in front of them, and say, listen, somehow get the ball over it.
Well, when are Brisbane going to get into this game? They really haven't had a say so far. They've been on the back foot virtually since the word go.
Well, they've not been allowed to get into this game, have they? Warrington, what they have done, they've found the space. They're looking at the tight ruck around the middle, and obviously when there's a gap in front of them, they look to exploit that.
Westerman plays the ball. Sorry, Phil.
It's almost been a perfect 20 minutes for Warrington. They've had the ball, they haven't made a single mistake with it. Most of the kicks have been accurate, problems. And there's another deep one there now to the corner. They've converted every single chance they've had into points. Excellent kick from Declan Patton.
Look at that chase.
Excellent kick, and Mead has to gather and return it.
Whenever you want one of your masters to kick the ball, the main objective is to find space, find the floor, kick it in behind of the men. You don't want the likes of Oates or Mead returning the ball strongly. There we go. Another strong carry from Maguire as he looks and turns, tries to get the offload away.
Brisbane rolling forward with McCulloch. Is it back to 6? It is. It is. Referee Phil Bentham wiping the tackle count clean, and now it's Josh Maguire. Brisbane, just to put the job that they've got here tonight into perspective, they would have to overturn a record club deficit if they're going to win this game. That's 18 points against Canberra in 2006. The biggest deficit they've ever erased. Well, they're going to have to go better than that tonight already. But they're coming forward now with Joe Offahengawi. Probably the best opportunity they've had so far. Warrington, are they up to the task defensively?
That was a good read, wasn't it, from Dec Patton? Shuts that play down from Darius Boyd.
Milford puts a little kick in, just too strong, zipping off this surface here.
Too much beef on that kick, but a great spot in defence from young Declan Patton. He's coming on leaps and bounds. He will be revelling in the partnership with Kevin Brown tonight.
Oh, look at those 2 great runs there by the wingers, gaining over 10 metres. Brisbane will introduce some fresh legs soon because they've run out of that initial punch there to move forward as quick as they were.
Jack Hughes taking Warrington just over the halfway line. Here's Westerman, thought about the offloads but decided to hold tight. Atkins, one of Warrington's try scorers, already here tonight in a blistering opening quarter from the home team.
Here's Big Benny Westwood.
And here is Westwood, 35 years of age, making his first appearance of the season. He's been bedeviled by injury in the last 12 months. Just about every part of his body, I think, has been under treatment, and that's a good set of 6.
Really lifted the side. Came on a bullocking run from Westwood, coming back from that pec, bicep, shoulder injury. Gets his head down, earns the metres, and the game just takes a breath. 22 minutes on the clock. We've hardly had a stoppage.
Always has played the game with boyish enthusiasm, Ben Westwood, and even at this stage of his career, 35 years of age, there's an element about his game.
He's got decent leg drive, hasn't he? Spins out of tackles, keeps going forward, lifts his teammates.
Well, Warrington fans will be saying, follow this, Wigan. And can they in the Dacia World Club Challenge? The Warriors against Cronulla Sharks tomorrow, 2:30 on Sky Sports 2 for that showdown.
Good line speed from Warrington. They're getting up, they're meeting the Brisbane forwards head on.
Broncos with Matt Gillette. Gillette plays the ball. Just a bit static there. And coming back across the field, James Roberts, I beg your pardon. And then the kick downfield. And this week's fullback, Kurt Gidley, is there to receive it.
Got plenty of options in that fullback position. Matty Russell's played there. Stephen Rashford doesn't make the game. But Kurt Gidley's played for state, country and club. Another good carry. They just can't handle the back three of Warrington.
Good work from Matty Russell that time. And here's the other wing as well, Tom Lynham.
Move! Wait, goal, 3.
Now Westwood. Met by 4 Broncos defenders. Cooper, nice step from Mike Cooper, get him away from trouble and gets the offload away to Westerman.
That's excellent play. Forwards working together, pushing up in support.
Brown little dink over the top. Boyd comes across and it's just sat on a little patch of sand and seemed to stick for a moment before he could get his hands on it.
It's the variety in his kick by Kevin Brown. He has every kick imaginable. We've mentioned his passing and his kicking game. Another good carry from Ben Westwood.
Now it's with Alex Glenn. Kiwi international, who played in the Four Nations over here last year.
5, move!
That's the 5th tackle. And McCulloch chips a nice kick in, and this is the Broncos' response. An excellent response as well from Corey Oates. What a finish from the winger. And Andrew McCulloch engineering the start, is it, of the Brisbane Broncos fight back. Corey Oates finishing off. The top try scorer for the Brisbane club last year with 18 in 22 appearances. Gets his first of 2017.
He's got a high work rate, Andrew McCulloch, and a clever kick. Gets out, spots that there's a Warrington defender on the floor. So he goes the short side. As he pulls up 3-7s, he knows that there's enough numbers there in a Brisbane shirt to cause some problems. There was 3 Brisbane players to just Matty Russell. Took a nice bounce, and Corey Oates, as said, he's a big man and tough to stop.
Something for the Brisbane contingent to salute at last. They get points on the board.
Points on the board with a very skillful try, didn't they? I think Warrington thought the last play they'd done almost everything they had to do to get possession back, but instinctive vision allied to wonderful skill has turned them into 4 points here, and the crowd has gone silent. Somebody's hit the mute button.
And Jordan Kau attempting to convert from way out wide. Round the corner, sets it on its way and narrows the gap still further. 20 points to 6.
Quality try. All the skills on show, and the fatigue factor now. We've got almost 27 minutes on the clock, and there hasn't been a fair share of possession. What about that for a finish? Wonderful stuff from Corey Oates. When the Broncos do have that fair share of possession, you can expect good tries and good skills like that.
Corey Oates got 2 tries against the Wigan Warriors in the World Club Series last year.
Get square! Hold, go 1.
And that has, as Murray said,
Move! Wait, go 2.
just given Warrington something to think about. It was all going their way, but Brisbane now enjoying some possession, now enjoying some territory as well, and finding some yards as they move upfield.
Move! Hold.
Not a bad set, straight from the kick-off, get over halfway. McCulloch getting out, again, dangerous signs. Yeah, dangerous signs. The back end of the set, Warrington thought that they'd done everything, they've controlled it. Marker's not squared again. McCulloch, it's just one step to get there.
Keep working back. This is it.
Tommy Smith,
On his foot. Go.
thoughtful, wondering whether his side can withstand this latest assault as Sam Thaiday hurls himself at the Warrington defenders. Here they come again, the Broncos. 5 metres out.
Goal 2.
Trouble for the Wolves.
3. Move.
Back on their own line.
Hold Warrington. Goal 3.
Andre Cervello defending hard there.
4.
Now Rhys Evans.
Goal.
The Broncos aren't done yet. Here's
5.
Josh Maguire. And that ball's been stolen.
Jack Hughes, he can't resist.
Elbows down.
They did a good job in closing Anthony Milford down. It comes back to the middle, and Jack Hughes, he can't resist. He's trying to buy an extra second or two. Give Phil Bentham no option.
Hold the mark, Warrington. Hold the mark. Go.
Well, here comes Maguire again. Back for a second attempt.
Move. Goal 1.
Hunt, quick hands, and out to the other wing to Mead. Mead back in field, and Warrington scrambling to deny him. Is Roberts. Roberts skipping across the face of the post, getting the pass away. Bit off the cuff from the Broncos there.
2. Move. Go.
McCulloch looks left, goes left. Good defence.
Forward pass. I think several thousand Warrington fans helped him with that decision.
Forward pass.
Phil Bentham blows for the forward pass. A pressure relieving mistake from Josh Maguire. The middle man takes the short pass.
Yeah, it's on the 10, yeah.
Hits the short pass, should I say.
He was forced into that ball, wasn't he, from the pressure from the inside. The defence, I think it was Joe Westerman, Tom Lynham in the bottom left-hand corner, come up with a very good tackle on his opposite, preventing a try. He shifted back to the other side, but good inside pressure from Warrington in defence. When the ball goes away from you, don't switch off, keep on moving.
There are little psychological nudges that it might be all night. If you withstand some of that pressure that Brisbane are putting on you, you stop them from scoring, you repel them away from your try line, you're on to the next bit of hard work.
Blistering half an hour of rugby league, which has seen Warrington go into a 20-0 lead and Brisbane come back with their only try of the game so far, but to just give a warning to the Wolves.
Well, both sides are completing high. Warrington have just made one mistake, Brisbane just 3, but both sides willing to tuck the ball under the wing, run really hard, like Benny Westwood does here, lands on his front. That's the basics of rugby league. Land on your front, get up, play as quick as you can.
Brown. This time Brown gets a little bit of pressure, but still gets a good kick away. McCulloch was very quickly up on him, but Brown again getting his kick away.
He's just taking control, Kevin Brown, isn't he? He's everywhere on this pitch. He's just putting his hand up. Yeah, give me the ball. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I just want to knock it off the pitch. I want to take our time. We'll get set. Let's see if we can keep Brisbane pressured. Let them bring the ball away from their line. Maybe make a mistake.
You just mentioned I missed him, sorry.
Just looking at the body language of both sides. The Wolves buzzing, shoulders back, heads back. And the Broncos now, they know they're in a game.
Closer.
Heavy breathing, they need to catch their breath.
Ouch.
Go to plan B. Plan A they set out and they've practiced all week, just hasn't worked.
Held!
Referee calls held.
Goal 1.
It's Tavita Pangai who was tackled.
Goal.
Sam Thaiday then. Matt Gillette ducking under a swinging arm.
Hold. Goal 3.
Here's McCulloch once more. Now Maguire.
4. Move. Hold. Goal.
Just
4.
inside their own half of the Brisbane side. Alex Glenn onto Hunt. Hunt does well to get the pass away to Boyd. Boyd over the top to Mead. Now Mead has got pace. Back on the inside. Oh, and the ball was knocked on.
Show him the outside. Tom Lynham backs himself for showing the outside, and then all of a sudden, when Mead goes down there, he's flirting with the touchline. He knows that he's running out of space, so he's got to get rid of the pass.
That's the second time he's had to get on his bike and save a try. He's a big man, Tom Lynham, to get down low, affect that tackle. It's a speculator inside, and the mistake is made. Urgency in defence from Wolves.
Brisbane trailing here by 20 points to 6. Back home in Australia, another Broncos side. Players still in action left behind. Beat Wynnum Manly 44 points to 4 on Saturday evening.
Don't strike.
Cody Nikorima back in action after his injury problems. Brisbane penalised.
Sorry, Bill, there's a difference in the two hemispheres. No striking at the scrum. Phil Bentham has warned them every time they've packed down. He said stop striking, and Kevin Brown asks the question and gets the answer.
Go.
Which is a penalty, and here's Brad Dwyer.
Well, they're playing the game at speed, aren't they? They're the ones who are up in the tempo of the game, and Brisbane at the minute just can't cope with it. They can't be dominated in defence.
Atkins plays the ball. Here's Brown. Brown across the field. Quick hand. Oh, Evans is clobbered by Jordan. He felt that.
Big shot.
He takes some punishment, Rhys Evans, doesn't he?
Welsh international back up on his feet.
On a weekly basis.
Move.
Oh, I've watched this. And there's a head clash as well, maybe.
Savelio.
Go.
12 metres out. Patton, here's Brown now. Brown, this time he opts to kick over the top, just too strong. But David Mead opts for the safety option there, bats the ball dead.
Well, again, it shows the variety that Kevin Brown can bring to his side here in attack. The pass option. Sometimes, occasionally, he'll run at defenders. More often than not, he'll put that kick over the top and they get possession back here. This is huge, I think, this final 5 minutes of the first half.
He needed to be bold, Kevin Brown, there. He had a couple of options available to him. He needed to be bold. He put it into the in goal, hoping for a fortuitous bounce, and he got one.
Time on.
So Brisbane will drop out from underneath their own posts. First of the game, I think. And Ben Westwood will rumble it back.
One. Move.
He certainly winds up still.
Go.
Well, Benny Westwood.
Here's Savelio now.
Help.
Close season signing
Move.
from St Helens.
Hold. Go.
Plays the ball. Westerman. Joe Philbin.
3. Move.
It's a big night for these Warrington youngsters. Philbin, Harvey Levette, who's only 20. Getting a chance against the mighty Brisbane Broncos, and the mighty Brisbane Broncos are trailing here by 20 points to 6 to a Kevin Brown-inspired Warrington Wolves team. Brown's pass, though, finds Jack Hughes all wrapped up.
4. Go. Okay.
Dwyer. Westerman. Quick hands, very quick hands. Rhys Evans comes back in field.
It just looks so crisp, doesn't it?
Go.
Quick play the ball. Savelio. Little grubber kick comes in.
Play on. First.
And well dealt with, acrobatically dealt with.
I think it was McCullough. Because if that ball beats McCullough, I think there was 5 or 6 Warrington players around the sticks.
Broncos hooker Andrew McCullough reacting first to that ricochet. Brisbane now with work to do. Here's Oates, their try scorer in this first half, with an acrobatic finish on the wing.
Looks easy to defend at the minute for Brisbane. All the players are clumped around the ball. So Warrington, they can mirror that image. They don't need to go back. Again, under pressure, Milford.
Under pressure he was, Milford, from Dwyer and Westerman, but gets the kick away. Now here's Lynham. Lynham bounces off. Mead is then upended.
That's what a player with the size and power that Tom Lynham, that's what ends up happening. People get in, they get low, they try and drive him back, and that looks nasty in the end.
Well, they certainly like the look of this. Their left edge with Tom Lynham.
Very lucky there.
Yeah, his carries, but whenever the ball's kicked to the centre, Kirk Gidley will try and get the ball to Tom Lynham.
On the foot, go.
Hughes
move!
He's been good, Bill.
First goal.
Former Wigan man, Jack Hughes. And here's Ben Westwood.
2, move! That's
40
it,
metres
back.
out in the
Goal,
Brisbane
2.
Broncos half. Warrington looking to finish this first half with a flourish. They
3,
started the
move!
game with a flourish.
Goal, 3.
Kevin Brown screaming for this ball here.
Here is Brown. Brown onto Atkins. Atkins one-handed. Ball was trying to get Lynham involved. Lynham! Tom Lynham has nicked one, has he?
I don't think he has, Bill.
You could see it was great camera
He made the
work.
line.
It was great camera work. Everybody at home
got a try.
is screaming. Phil Bentham thinks it's a try.
Double movement.
I think
He's
it's
not
a
got the
try.
view we've got, Phil.
Yeah, we'll get some of that.
He hit the line. That's all you've got to do with the ball, isn't it?
Well, certainly the first look, it looked like Tom Lynham was short of the line when he grounded the ball. Did he manage to keep his momentum going onto the line? He only needs part of that ball to touch the line. We've also got to look at whether his knee touches the line before the ball gets to the try line.
This will
He's
give it you,
certainly
Stuart.
short to start with. Is his momentum keep going? Does he ever get to the line?
Yes.
Well, I think you've got to say that the ball is touching the line there. I'd like to see this in normal speed. I don't think he promotes the ball. I think you can see it in normal speed. The ball will end up on the line, so I think this try may well be given. It's been given on the field, so there's a bit of an advantage to Warrington in that. But all the ball has to do is touch any part of that line for it to be awarded as a try.
And Thaler, the man in the truck, making the decision. On first instinct,
He's up. That he's not in touch.
first instinct was he'd either drop the ball or he'd gone in touch. The more you look at it, the more grounds there are to award the try.
To try. His left knee's not in touch. The ball's on the try line. It's 4 points.
If his knee is on the line at the same time as it's adjudged that the ball is on the try line, then the try will be disallowed. But there has to be sufficient evidence on this. There has to be sufficient evidence to overrule the on-field decision.
Good play for the touch judge with his elbow.
Has Tom Lynham rounded off this first half with another try for Warrington? Yes, he has. Sharp finishing from the Warrington Wolves winger, Tom Lynham.
Chris Evans is enjoying himself. A pint in his hand, and his side couldn't be doing any better. Lovely stuff. Ryan Atkins had an early ball, an early pass, and again you're back in one-on-one, and from that field position, Ben Hunt is thinking open. At the last second, or millisecond, he sees the danger, he becomes alert. I thought he'd done enough, but that's a try.
Yeah, I'm not sure Tom Lynham fancied the pass here from this player. Look, Warrington shifted it from one side to the other, but you've got to give Lynham some credit for his recovery. Only a minute earlier he'd almost been upended and decapitated in one tackle. He didn't let that affect him though, and he's seen a chance to dive at that line and make it.
Declan Patton has landed everything that he's been presented with so far. This, the trickiest one yet, wide out. Oh, and can't quite find the target. But 24-6 in the final minute of the first 40.
You can see that Ben Hunt, well, he's not anticipating someone the size and with the power that Tom Lynham's got. He's going to go short side, not that much space to deal with. You say Chris Evans, well, he's turned up for a party. He's having a good time, and so is it at his side. Been a dream, Warrington Wolves, opening 40.
Tom Lynham had a scratchy game in Perpignan last week. Was actually sin-binned at one point during that defeat, but he's had a big game in this match so far as Hooter sounds. And the Warrington fans are on their feet to salute their sides after a storming first half effort. And they have really taken the game to the visiting Brisbane Broncos, hitting them with 2 tries in the first 6 minutes. And never really looking back, and Kevin Brown very much the architect of all that was good from the Warrington Wolves. The Brisbane Broncos have got to stage their biggest ever fight back in the second half. At the break they trailed 24-6. It's half-time in the World Club Series game between the Warrington Wolves and the Brisbane Broncos, and Warrington lead by 24 points to 6. Not a situation many people were anticipating, but it has been a blistering performance from the Wolves, who have torn into the Broncos and gouged Wayne Bennett's team. Corey Oates with a try, converted by Jordan Kahu, giving the Brisbane Broncos some hope, but they are, as we mentioned, going to have to stage their biggest ever fight back if they're to turn this round as the second half gets underway at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. Anticipates a big, strong start to this second half from this Brisbane Broncos side. Tavita Pangai takes the first hit up for the Broncos.
Well, in that first half, Warrington were controlling the speed of the game. Look at the breaks that they made, 6 breaks to just Brisbane's 1. And that man, Kevin Brown, well, he was so fresh. He made just 4 tackles, leading the side around. And maybe the game plan from Brisbane will change. Maybe look to take some energy away from Kevin Brown, because they know they've got a chance their arm a bit here, Brisbane. It's going to be difficult because Warrington are playing so confidently.
Oof, but Kidley was clobbered there on the follow-up. It was Tavita Pangai Jr. with that tackle after a good kick from Andrew McCulloch. And now Brisbane trying to pin this Warrington Wolves side down. There's a bit of sting from the Broncos.
There will be a reaction, but there also needs to be a reaction from this Warrington Wolves. Of course they need to keep doing what they've been doing, but they need to remind each other this could be the game of your life. You very rarely get more than one chance at the World Cup Challenge, so you need to grasp the chances when they come to you. This is the game of their lives. Don't leave anything to chance.
Boyd is underneath that kick. Big, towering kick it was from Declan Patton. The Broncos' newly appointed captain Boyd was well placed underneath it.
Well, Warrington need to do a series of little things to help the big picture here and win it. And turning over the ball to Darius Boyd, 10 metres or so from his own line, is a real positive start to the second half. And giving him further out, then it will get difficult, because you can see the metres that some of these Broncos guys are making.
Vita Pangai showing up well in this second half so far. Siesi plays the ball. Beg your pardon. Still on the last, and eventually they get the kick away. Well, Warrington Wolves missing a number of key personnel. Stephen Ratchford not out there, Ben Curry not out there, Chris Hill isn't out there. He's sitting in the stand. He's talking to Angela.
Yes, Chris is with me now. It's gone so well in the first half. Got to keep that up.
Yeah, it is. Like we said at half-time, then I think we're at 100% completion in the first half. It's unbelievable. So, I think they're doing really well and we want to carry on.
What are they going to throw at you this half?
Wayne would have had a right go to them in there, and so be it. They were poor the first half, but we just want to keep on top and take it to them.
What was the game plan set out?
We just concentrated on ourselves, especially from last week. We were pretty poor at Catalan, so we just concentrated on ourselves. And no, we knew we needed to start fast, and that's what we've done. And I think Kevin Lane just kicked it again. He's been outstanding.
That's great, thanks, Chris. Wayne Bennett, the coach of Brisbane Broncos, was saying that they just didn't have enough football in that first half, and Warrington played with lots of confidence. Their job now is to knock that confidence out of them.
Good kick from Kevin Brown. Tony Smith very, very happy with that 100% completion rate in the first 40 minutes, but knows that they are up against a world-class side in the shape of the Brisbane Broncos.
Okay, yeah, I'll sort that out.
But Brisbane once again will have to work from deep, and they're coming from deep, very quickly with James Roberts, and Roberts is going to go virtually the length of the field, although Evans is chasing him down. Great work from Rhys Evans, but great work from James Roberts. And the former Gold Coast Titan flew there and caught Warrington napping, and Brisbane breaking from deep to close the deficit still further, and a stony-faced Wayne Bennett hardly bats an eyelid.
Well, the Broncos scored a similar try from a scrum, if you recall, at Wigan a couple of seasons ago. It's Greg Eden, in fact, who did it. And on this play here, they exposed the weakness there in the defence with a gap from Kevin Brown. He couldn't quite close it. And one of the quickest plays that the Broncos have narrows the scoreboard, makes a difference. Look, short side again. It was exactly what they did at Wigan. And on that occasion, Greg Eden scored the 4. Rhys Evans does remarkably well to try and make this goal kick attempt a little more difficult as he edges him towards the side. But this is the question now for Warrington, whether they can recover mentally. How strong are they?
We've given him some plaudits, Kevin Brown, but he was just shuffling towards that sideline. And someone like James Roberts, with a big explosive right foot step, goes through the line, and then he gives it the big see you later to Ryan Atkins. It's a decent finish, isn't it? And it gives them, and it breathes some life back into this game for them.
2015 Dally M Centre of the Year, James Roberts. Now his centre partner, Jordan Kahu, will attempt to narrow the gap still further. 20-0 down they were. And now, with that conversion from Jordan Kahu, 24-12 the scoreline, but blistering pace from James Roberts. He missed only one game in 2016 in his debut season for the Broncos.
Well, we mentioned it in the first half, the lethal pace and speed that the back line has in the Broncos.
Keep reacting to the move call.
There's a lapse in concentration, a little bit passive from Kevin Brown, and that just opened the door. And a great try, first of the second half.
First
Mr. Vita Pangai Jr. plays that ball. And Warrington, well, that silenced the crowd a little bit, who were on a high after that first half performance. George Fye now.
A bit of a spring in the step as well now. But his explosive carries, footwork at the line.
And Brisbane suddenly finding territory. Gidley has to take that kick on his knees. Follow-up tackle flattened him.
Even the chase has been stepped up from Brisbane. Some aggression now in these tackles, and he catches this ball. Did well.
Catches it on the full as well, Tez. Important. He's straight on the front foot. It was a good kick chase from the Broncos. We might see a phase of set for set now.
Dwyer with a little run for the Warrington Wolves. His Brown's kick into space. Good kick. Very good kick from Kevin Brown, and Meads will be tackled by Joe Weston. Ashton Sims up there as well, leading the chase for the Warrington Wolves.
Well, don't get fed up of just kicking in behind the opposition.
And Boyd put his brakes on and then looked up and found 3 Warrington Wolves closing him down. A bit of a communication breakdown there, I think.
He's given a look to one of his teammates, hasn't he? Then Boyd.
Don't know if he was expecting Corey Oates to come to his aid. Alex Glenn takes the Brisbane Broncos up to the 40-metre line, and then he crawls a few more, and the Warrington supporters below us have a word with referee Phil Bentham about that. Hunt hoists the kick, and not as much pressure on Ben Hunt that time. Well claimed, very well claimed from Gidley.
That ball was going absolutely everywhere in the air then. He's so confident in the back, isn't he, Kurt Gidley? All the experience in the world. Doesn't put any pressure on himself. He knows that that's his job. He's got to pouch that ball. Superb job on that occasion.
But ideally, with all the other aspects of his game, do you want him at fullback?
Well, he's another good pivot, isn't he? He can link up well with Kevin Brown, deck pattern. He can be the indicator in whether to play the short side, the long side, make the numbers up. He's a good player to sit back in the pocket and read the game and chime into the line where he wants.
Ashton Sims loops it over the top, and Rhys Evans with a little dummy, and Matty Russell was crying out for that pass. Evans takes the tackle.
Has Ashton Sims gone into the halves now?
Well, we saw his pass, in fact, against the Catalan Dragons last week that set up a try. It was excellent handling.
They kicked too long there, under pressure from the Broncos, and it's evident from the start of this second half the Wolves have just dropped off the kick pressure. I guess at some point, Tony Smith, Lee Breers will be saying, we need to keep doing what we did in the first half. Take time and space away from those kickers.
Boyd is quickly closed down by Brad Dwyer that time. Now here's the try scorer, the first of the try scorers for the Brisbane Broncos, Corey Oates. Takes him up to the halfway line.
It's been a good period for Brisbane, but let's face it, there was always going to be a reaction from Brisbane early on in the second half. It's how you deal with it.
Tavita Pangai again with a good run. Now here's Milford. Milford bobbing and weaving and getting the penalty.
Again, markers not square here.
Not square.
Speed of the play, the ball too much for Warrington on the back.
You saw Anthony Milford there wanted to tap the ball and go again. He's kicked the ball to touch. The 20 metres from the line here. It's a real test here now. It's an effort on an effort for some of the lungs in the Warrington defenders here. They've got to keep playing as fast as they can.
And they've got to stand as firm as they can as Sam Thaiday comes hurtling towards them. Westerman it was with the tackle. And another barrelling run.
Move!
Glenn, I think it is.
Hold, goal,
gets to his feet and plays the ball. And McCulloch goes for it. He's held up just on the try line.
Testing the honesty of the Warrington defenders close to the line then.
Goal 3.
Milford, a short ball from him, and again great defence from the Warrington Wolves. Referee Phil Bentham.
Tackle 4, lads, short.
Good effort from Deck Patton. Deck Patton comes in, puts his body on the line, prevents Brisbane from getting the ball down. Huge effort.
Just there, play it there. You've got to play it there, that's it there. Ready?
Was Tavita Pangai,
No, don't do me it.
who was very close there, but Warrington getting bodies in the way underneath. The Wolves now defending for all their worth as Brisbane toy with them.
Well, that's a great line that they don't. No one has to commit, no one has to bite in. Just frustrate Brisbane.
Boyd it was who was eventually tackled as Brisbane looked for a gap. Another charge down, another Warrington charge down, and this time it was Brad Dwyer.
He does so well, Bill. The ball is bubbling along the floor. He has to regather it. He has to make sure he secures possession. And in the process of doing that and playing the ball, there's a penalty towards the Wolves.
Well, referee Phil Bentham,
So just a penalty.
I don't think he's called out Kurt Gidley. I think Kurt Gidley just wants to discuss something, and it's Matt Gillette, I think, who's being called out.
He's trying to encourage the referee that there's a yellow card in his back pocket, and it would be a great time to pull it out now. Well, he thought it was a professional foul to slow down the play here in a possible try-scoring position for Warrington, and he maybe has an argument, but I don't think it was a sin bin, but he's held down there when the Wolves wanted to go on with it.
They've worked on the kick pressure, haven't they? Knowing the danger of Milford and Hunt, certainly not sitting back and letting them place the kicks where they want them.
Great penalty that was. Well, a welcomed penalty from the Warrington supporters who found their voices again. And it was Brad Dwyer's kick charge down that paved the way. And here they are now with Cervello. And Cervello bounces off the first line of defence and has another go. 10 metres out now, the Warrington Wolves. It's with Dwyer. Here is Sims now. Sims quickly on. We've seen his passing ability. Great hands from the Warrington Wolves. Atkins gets it away to Gidley. Gidley, little offload from him to Dwyer. Dwyer, little shimmy from the hooker. On to Cervello. Cervello trying to bat away the challenge of Milford, but Milford clings onto him.
Bill, that's how they win this game. Playing like that, unstructured rugby, offloading in collision.
There's a Warrington player down, though, right in the middle of the action at the moment, and the referee is going to have to call a halt to play.
Would it be Ryan Atkins who went into a tackle, flicked it out the back? It was a wonderful offload. He's looked very good to me tonight, but blood on the nose. The doctor and physio to stop that. It stopped Warrington's attack. Look, it's hit by David Mead, and just catches Gillette as he falls to the floor.
Still waiting.
They're the ones that catch you. You're not expecting it. He's offloaded the ball. Nothing sinister from Gillette. Just a bit of red sweat coming down from the nose. And he'll spill a little bit more if he can get the victory tonight. Bill, you asked the question about Kurt Gidley. Was it making the most of his threat and the skill set that he's got? Well, we've already seen in a couple of minutes there that when he's got the ball with time and with space, he's got the tip-on pass. He can also use his intellect to draw, pass, run, and cause real problems for defenders.
Here he is now on the ball, Gidley. And then Patton hoists a kick. Evans will challenge for it, but he can't get near. And Corey Oates is able to claim that one pretty comfortably.
You'd do well to out-jump Corey Oates, wouldn't you? The size of the man. Big set of 6 here for Brisbane.
That looked high.
No.
There's Jack Hughes putting himself about.
There's a mistake.
He's lost the ball.
Maguire has fumbled.
Is it Kevin Brown who puts the shoulder in?
Josh Maguire runs across 3 Warrington players to get at Kevin Brown. He's looking at targeting Warrington's halfback. Look, picks him straight out. Kevin Brown stays strong. Maybe a bit of an arm in there, but it's a loose carry as well. He's got to control this. If he's picked somebody out who's going into contact, he's got to make sure he has a better grip on that ball.
This is a terrific atmosphere, isn't it? Look at that crowd really getting behind the home side, trying to bring them home. A long way to go yet.
They'd love to put that clock on fast forward though, wouldn't they? It'd be 73, not 53, because there's that nervous 12-point lead. A long time left in the match.
But it's Warrington in possession at the moment, and Brisbane with the defending to do. Tony Smith, absolutely impassive. Kevin Brown, trying to wrong-foot the Broncos' defence, but they are having none of that. And Maguire and McCulloch with the defending. Gidley, quick hands, and Russell cannot stop himself sliding into touch. The pass was just ahead of him. He had to stretch for it, and he ended up slithering into touch.
There was no need to cut out the play. It's Deck Patton. He goes across the face of the centre to the winger. There was enough defenders to cover it. In the end, a simple use of the players and the hands might have been a better option for him.
Instead of running towards the touchline, you needed to drop back under, get back into the field, because we're running out of space, and because of the conditions, anywhere near the touchline that you land, obviously because the greasiness on the pitch, you're going to go over, aren't you, to the sideline. So maybe drop unders, maybe still move the ball around. But again, when Warrington look dangerous, it's when they're going into contact and offloading the ball.
Head and feet to the Brisbane Broncos then, deep in their own half. Had a good week's preparation since arriving in the UK last Friday. Brisbane spent the first part of the week in London training at the Honourable Artillery Company in the City of London. Right in the City of London it is. Can't get much cityer. Surrounded by bankers they were. Here is Maguire. Have they got gas in the tank, the Brisbane Broncos, in this, their first big outing of 2017? And McCulloch puts a grubber kick in, bobbling along the ground in front of Gidley. 34 years of age now, Kirk Gidley. But he made the dream team last year, just like brother Matt did at St Helens.
Oh, there's not a lot of people now wanting to run hard in the middle of the field here.
On either side.
Well, no, I'm saying for Warrington here, they need somebody to just do that, don't they? Once or twice here now and roll forward.
Sims, he's got the taste for it now. Cervello. Rhys Evans now. Evans has got the pace and almost found a gap in the Broncos' defence, but Oates it was with a good tackle. Russell skips infield and then finds Cervello, and Cervello is through. Cervello is looking for some support, but Russell couldn't find a way to get on his shoulder. A quick play the ball from Cervello, and they go from one side of the field to the other now. And Brown puts a little grubber kick in, and they will get another set, will they?
Brilliant.
Yes, they will. Great work from the Warrington Wolves.
Pressure building defence, pressure building kick and chase. Outstanding work from Cervello over on the right. He breaks a couple of tackles, transfers the ball in the process, but it's the end of the set. Look at this, the rubber ball. He offloads it, Cervello finds space, right hand, left hand, wonderful work.
It's the unstructured rugby that's creating havoc and causing havoc for Brisbane. They just can't deal with it. It's not the one-up carries.
Well, they go for the short restart, and it comes off for them.
Yeah, I don't think enough teams contest restarts in rugby league. It's one of the things I think it's more exciting, makes more entertaining, and it's paid off here. They know that at 12 points behind, they're still in the game. If it grew to 16 or 18, it would become difficult.
Short kick-off, short goal line. You just love those.
I think we need more contests for possession, and Warrington have tried to contest that ruck and lost it with a penalty.
23 minutes to go, could be red alert here. Now for Warrington. Brisbane earned themselves a penalty. They're going to be attacking now in Warrington's half. They need a couple of repeat sets. They need to just camp down the other end of the pitch because they've been under some pressure. They had a good opening 5 minutes, but then Warrington stepped it up again.
Sam Thaiday, 7th now on the Broncos' all-time appearance charts with 253 in the NRL. Here they come, the Brisbane Broncos, with Milford, and Milford gets the pass away, and just short is Alex Glenn. I beg your pardon, it's Jai Arrow just on the field, and the referee looking at a pile of bodies in front of him.
Good defence, Darryl Clark underneath. Jai Arrow was extremely well. Look at the strength, and turns him over onto his back. It's a bit of a set to now.
Well, they've gone from a goal line dropout to an almost try at one end, and the ref's going to stop the game here now, try and get some control of the situation.
What tackle are we, boys? 3. Thank you. Thank you.
Referee saying it's
Goal line. Come on, Mike. Okay. 3 goals.
play the ball. Brisbane Broncos 10 metres out, so close then.
He's lost it. He went towards goal, didn't he?
Yeah.
One going. And Ashton Sims put himself in the picture, took possession, and they're charging forward here now with Jack Hughes.
So you said before about brave carries. Zofangawi looked to, as you say, offload that ball. These are going to be some brave carries now. It's a get-on-board set for Warrington.
Release. 3 goals.
You see Jason Demetriou frustrated, knowing that you can't do that with a couple of players still left in the pack.
Hold. Goal 4. 5. Move. Wait.
So
Go,
Warrington just wobbling slightly. Now Rhys Evans getting on the outside, gets the pass away to Russell. Russell one man between him and Dory, and steps twice to space. He had Savelio in support. It was on the last, and it'll be the turnover.
He had to pass that ball. Pass it. There was nobody there. There was men in front of him.
Savelio.
There was men in front of him. He had to pass that ball. He backs himself, doesn't he, Matty Russell? Here we go. Kirk Gidley. Kirk Gidley and McCullum. Mick Cooper. Well, listen to the fans here.
James Roberts came running in there. I think that's
James Roberts coming in.
terrible blow from the back.
Move away.
All on here, Kirk Gidley. 15 seasons in the NRL.
But for this competition to be successful, it needs to have this intense rivalry. It needs the passion to be displayed. There's some pushing and shoving goes on here. It's got to mean something to both teams.
Well, Darius Boyd throws Gidley on the floor. He turns around thinking it's McCullum. So that's why he has a go at the number 9 for Brisbane.
I'm not sure what he's doing with the ball. He tries to hit him with the ball at first. Gidley.
Well, Mike Cooper as well. Then he's straight into Jai Arrow.
And then you're right, Phil. I don't know who gets hit from behind, but there's a flailing arm. It looks like it's James Roberts that throws it.
Hand over.
Well, this has been part of the build-up this week. What happens when a punch gets thrown?
This set of 6 here, there's just been a bit of a brawl. It's a handover. You're trapped in your corner.
Kurt Gidley. Kurt.
Well, the referee is still going to have a word with somebody. I think it is Kurt Gidley. Mike Cooper was just reminding, was it Jai Arrow? I used to play in the NRL, you know me.
Yeah, let's just stay relaxed now. All right, we're going to play the handover. Let's see if we can get through the rest of the game now with nobody running in. Okay, Kurt. Okay.
Right, I'm rubbing my hands together.
Mark,
You know,
Let's see if we can get through the rest of the game.
It's the rest of the next set of 6.
Yes.
who's going to take this up? I'm going to guess Josh Maguire, the no-nonsense forward. He'll put his hand up.
It is Maguire.
There you go.
Listen to the crowd.
Maguire takes the tackle and it all passes off fairly peaceably there, but Cooper is putting himself about. And And Warrington, their tails up now, the Wolves. They lead by 24 points to 12. Into the final quarter of the game. Milford goes to ground, and that actually benefits him, because the Brisbane Broncos are able to make more territory through Sam Thaiday, and Thaiday plays the ball just inside his own half. And here goes Maguire.
Great shot. Good contact again. He's had a great game, Mike Cooper.
Just inside Warrington territory now. Ball popped over the top, and it's come up for the Warrington Wolves for Tom Lynham.
It's on again over on the other side with Kevin Brown.
Here we go. Need to get back to playing the game now.
But James Roberts again coming with a shot from Roberts.
Yeah, that was James Roberts.
I think he's going to have to get a card if the officials have seen it. Going to take the rest for 10 minutes. Just got overexcited here now.
Well, Mike Cooper's got the right idea. He puts a full-blooded shot in, and then they play the ball after. A little bit of anxiety in the passing game of the Broncos. Is that the offender? Could he be in trouble here now?
Well, that's James Roberts.
Well, it's when the ball's lost by Mead. Kevin Brown over the top. Mead comes in to Kevin Brown, then all of a sudden it's all on. Players spotted out the corner of the eye. They go rushing over.
So there's two that have come together. Okay.
Well, Roberts.
Anybody coming from Warrington?
To be
joined
fair,
in.
He joins in. He doesn't throw a punch. Yeah, he doesn't throw a punch.
Did anybody throw a punch?
If you watch James Roberts again, I do think that you'll find he does throw a punch from behind.
Good job. Kevin's got long arms there at first.
Captains, come here.
And the Stags come together.
Kurt, where's Kurt? Hey.
Well, the report's been that Ben Roberts Jamie Roberts, is reacted to Kevin Brown, so it might be him that's going to be penalised here. He's pulling the captains together again. He's already had a word once. He might have to take some action at some point.
When he said a few minutes ago, let's get through the rest of this game without any more incidents, I thought he was being a bit
You need to go past the message on without having that. All right? It's a penalty to Warrington.
Well, James Roberts is a powerful player, isn't he? He's very exciting when he's got ball in hand. He's destructive in defence. Here's the early one when he comes running in. Comes flying in over the top, trying to get some Warrington players. Then here's the second one. Comes in, doesn't throw a punch. He's all around Kevin Brown's head.
He's not a very good shot, is he? He's missed twice. Needs some more work on the mitts.
Well, it's Brisbane's turn now, isn't it?
Phil Bentham's been very tolerant. 24-12, still Warrington lead. Patton having to stretch behind to gather that ball.
Well taken from the youngster.
3 tackles gone, looking for the penalty. Here's Cooper, straightens it up.
He's been immense tonight, Cooper. Showed no respect for his opposition. He's really led the way.
Westerman gets to his feet to play the ball quickly.
Drop goal.
Patton,
Good call. Great move.
Target.
And well executed. They needed that.
Good call. He's praising himself.
Absolutely. It's easy. Great decision. You know what? Young half-back there, deadpan. He's going to be a very important player for this club for a number of years. And it's a massive moment for him there, I think, to extend it to a 13-point lead. 17 to go on the clock. Great game.
Showed maturity, didn't he, to knock that over.
We're going to take a look at another young English halfback, George Williams, tomorrow. 2 real stars of the future there.
Short kick-off. And Warrington deal with that one.
Well, Ryan Atkins, they thought about offloading that ball. But because they've gone short, they've lost probably about 30 metres. So Warrington, just with one more play, will be over in Brisbane's half. Visit. Maybe finish the set positively. Is this a penalty?
Referee Phil Bentham just hesitated before making that call, but does award the penalty.
Yeah, well, Alex Glenn, well, they're putting themselves under pressure. They've gone for the short kick-off. Then they can't bring Darryl Clark to ground. There's all the wrestle up top and just the strip of the ball from Gillette and Glenn.
Well, have Warrington weathered the storm. Dacia World Club Challenge between Wigan and Cronulla to come tomorrow, 2:30, Sky Sports 2. Can it match this intensity? This has been a stonking game between the Warrington Wolves and the Brisbane Broncos, and it ain't over yet. There's no golden point extra time. If they're level at the end of 80 minutes, it's a point apiece, and the winner of tomorrow's takes the title.
He's been good as well, hasn't he? The right winger, Matty Russell, spent a year in the Gold Coast when he left Wigan as a youngster.
Back they come, up the middle. Cooper once more it is. And they get the penalty.
Take the two. Josh Maguire trying to prevent the quick play of the ball. He gets through contact, lands on his front, and he's trying to play the ball quick. He's done that all evening, Mike Cooper.
They're testing the honesty of Brisbane. They take the ball away from the run. Then Mike Cooper comes on a drop-off play, goes back to where he thinks that there's going to be some lazy defenders. Look at this. Cuts a good angle, gets there, lands on his front, and then Maguire all over him, preventing him from playing the ball. And because he's showing that effort and the urgency to get up and play the ball as quick as he can, Phil Bellingham has got no other option but to blow the whistle.
It's in a very cohesive unit. It was Kevin Brown who dropped Mike Cooper off then. Good communication, everybody knowing the role and responsibility and carrying it out to the best of their ability.
The Halliwell Jones Stadium hushes as Declan Patton is on target for 2 more points. And Brisbane now need 16 points in the last 15 minutes to turn this around. But it can be done. Just ask Hull Kingston Rovers supporters.
Well, it can be, and that man there will be sending down the messages of what he wants from his team. As I said at the start of the game, they've got some genuine superstars. The Darius Boyds, the Milfords, the Hunts of this world. Will they go long? Will they go short here?
They go long. Brisbane's first team squad will head home tomorrow to resume their pre-season training after a couple of days off to get over the jet lag. Ready for their season opener against Cronulla on March the 2nd. And they have been given a good workout here.
Yeah, well, certainly that's what they wanted. That's what they've got. Some good footwork from the Warrington forwards. Look, that's always a dangerous sign when a hooker gets out from dummy half. He's looking for a little gap in the defensive line. Who's going to bite? Who's going to jump the gun?
Patton, Sims, willing worker, brings it up the middle, up to the halfway line for the Warrington Wolves. It's the 5th tackle, and Declan Patton has time to put a kick in. It's a great kick into the corner.
It's a well-weighted kick, and again, nowhere to go. Numbers in, nice and slow. Split at marker, split forward. Hold the man up, take him to ground. Good communication, that's what's needed here.
Brisbane trying to find a way through these Warrington defenders in the closing minutes here to give themselves some hope of snatching this game, but they seem to be running out of options and running out of energy.
Well, you talk about options, Ben Hunt didn't have an option then on that occasion. The pass that he gave was a poor one, and Ryan Atkins just gobbled up that tackle.
Speculative offload, keeps it alive, and then the knock-on and confusion there, nobody exactly sure who that was destined for.
But they're just playing for playing's sake now. No, they've got to keep the ball alive, they've got to play, but Milford, he's more of a threat when he runs the ball. They're trying to find space, they're trying to create opportunities, but there's just nothing happening for them. The ball comes off a Gowie and goes forward. So again, it's them defending their own half, 40 metres from the line, with Warrington, well, in good spirits at present.
It's been a really dour second half, or tough second half this. We've had the flare-ups. More physicality maybe in the second 40.
Well, that was going to come. They were always going to start the second half strongly, like they did. They had a good 10-minute spell. Warrington withheld that. And all of a sudden, after a couple of flare-ups, it's gone in Warrington's favour again.
It's with Darryl Clark now. And Clark
Move!
taken round the net.
Hold! Goal 2.
Plays the ball. Patton. Savelio now. Really quick on his feet, Andre Savelio.
He's got good balance for a big man, as he can step up here the foot.
Could be a very, very astute signing for this Warrington season. Ashton Sims. Kevin Brown now.
4.
Cooper
back up,
working hard.
Hold. Goal 4. Good work.
Clark. Westerman. Westerman challenging the Brisbane defenders and going back for a second chance.
5.
Warrington looking for the try that would set the seal on this famous victory. The offload comes to Westerman. Westerman back to Patton. Patton chips ahead, but Boyd, cool as a cucumber at the back for his team, just scoops that ball up.
He was in good position then, Darius Boyd. That Patton did well to get to that kick anyway, because the uncertainty of who's going to take control of that play.
And that's a consequence of that offload game that you've been calling for. Both front rows offloaded the ball.
Okay.
Then some ad hoc off the back of that. And what they can't do, as Ashton Sims has done here, is give a penalty away.
What's the second effort, Pop?
Brother Corbin Sims is still in the Brisbane Broncos ranks. Not in this tour party.
First move. Go.
Brisbane.
Yep.
Well, they're going to have to come up with something spectacular in the last 10 minutes here.
Well, St Helens did once on this ground, didn't they? 3 tries inside the last 10 minutes. Have the Brisbane Broncos got it in? I just don't get the feeling, do that they've got the energy. Ben Hunt and Milford haven't caused the problems that were anticipated before the match.
It's with Joe Offahengawi now, 10 metres out. Warrington back on their own try line for the first time in quite a while, defending. With Alex Glenn. Glenn is a couple of metres away now from that whitewash. The pass is just turning Milford around. Now here's Boyd. Boyd puts the brakes on, then stabs the kick in. Lynham has to turn and gets it dead, or does he? Or does David Mead get a touch to it before it went over the dead ball line? It's going to be a call for video ref Ben Thaler. Tom Lynham thought he dealt with it, but the ball just stuck.
It's a try, Bill. It's a try.
Yeah, I agree, Tez.
Tom Lynham thinks that he gets
it.
Look, he's waiting for the kick. He's anticipating the kick. He doesn't go up in the line. He sits back in the pocket. He turns. He goes. He chases. He pushes the ball. He thinks that he's done enough to bat it out. And then all of a sudden, Mead, just jogging on the spot, picks up a clean ball, puts the ball down. That's a try. Just can't write Brisbane off.
So David Mead gets a late try for the Brisbane Broncos, benefiting from that bit of misjudgment from the Warrington Wolves winger, who couldn't quite get the right momentum on the ball to push it over that dead ball line, and it sat up nicely for the PNG international. Now Jordan Kahu with a very difficult kick. Was in action not so long ago at Anfield in that Four Nations final, and Kahu is on target. Great kick from the sidelines from Jordan Kahu. 27-18.
Well, as we take another look and a replay of the try, this is what Brisbane can do. I'd love to listen to the huddle that the Warrington players were in. A simple mistake from Tom Lynham, as those Warrington players are huddled round talking about how they want this game to go. It's up to you, lads. Do you want to give this game, hand it back to Brisbane Broncos, or do you want to get the victory? As we said a couple of times, you only get a certain amount of goals at this game. And what's the focus of the Wolves like?
Oh, it's kicked it out on the full.
Mistake.
Oh, well, we wanted an exciting finish, but it's kicked off there. It's gone straight over the sideline. A penalty out to Brisbane. They have got a chance, haven't they, with 2 more tries, over 7 minutes to go.
Well, that's just gifting possession, that, isn't it?
The first foot put wrong from Declan Patton. He's had an outstanding game.
And so's Tom Lynham as well.
Are they going to be punished again? They were punished from that error a moment ago. And now kick out on the fall allows Brisbane to be back on the attack virtually straight away. And the ball sails out.
But Kahu goes for that offload. He's trying to give it towards, and because they're playing catch-up, the clock's against them. That's why they're trying to come up with players like that. Skips, gets outside the deck pound, tries to offload after he sucked Matty Russell in because there was space on that edge.
Still waiting on Brisbane.
That is a let-off for the Warrington Wolves.
Still waiting.
27-18 they lead.
Everybody's here, time off.
Coming up to 6 minutes on the clock. And now they've got to weather the storm. They'll take their time. The referee's called time off, Phil Bentham.
And you look at that clock, and Warrington, when they get through this set, if they get through this set cleanly, will probably just have 3 sets of 6 to defend to win this game.
Matty Russell bouncing off the Broncos defenders and getting up to the 30-metre mark.
Goal 1.
This World Club Series might have been diluted, the enthusiasm not so great in Australia for the concept, but this is evidence that it's well worth making the effort.
It certainly is here, isn't it?
Well, if you want a meaningful pre-season contest, this would surely fit the bill.
Well, this is where you're going to get challenged. You listen to the players in the interview before the game, the Warrington players, they're well up for this. They're representing Super League, they want to do it justice. And Westwood with his second caddy in this set of 6.
That's the 5th tackle on the Brisbane 40-metre line, and Brown hurriedly makes the kick. Warrington make the chase, but Brisbane make the claim. But they've got to come a long, long way. They've shown they can do it, though. Look out for James Roberts.
Well, David Mead, when he caught that ball, he's trying to get it back to centre, open up the play straight away. All the key playmakers are back for Brisbane. Young lad on the bench for Warrington, Harvey Levette. I'd love to see him get a chance against the Brisbane side. That'll give him so much confidence going forward in his professional career. He's a star of the future, that lad.
Off of Hengawi now, just trying to get the offload away. That's the 5th tackle, couldn't turn. They're keeping it alive, but that's good defence. The ball's batted down, play on, says the referee. Alex Glenn was trying to offload it, but the ball was just batted out of his hand. And Gidley.
That's experience for you. Put his hand up. He knows it's all hands to the pump now. Just minutes to go in this game. You have to do what's required of you, because this Brisbane side can burn you and will make you pay.
Westerman now, who's kick charged down, paved the way really for this Warrington performance, because that was the start they wanted. They were out of the blocks quickly.
There's some excitement now. Brad Dwyer just come onto the field. Look for him scooting from dummy half on the last play here.
Brown,
he's big,
bottles the kick into touch.
Orchestrated everything in this game. And I can't think of a bad player in a Warrington Wolves shirt. I know 1 or 2 have made some mistakes, but they've more than made up for that. Just one more.
For that man to perform, everyone else around him needs to perform.
Kevin Brown influential, and Kevin Brown will be giving his view of this game with John Wells on the touchscreen at full time after this game here on Sky Sports 1. And great reader of the game as well, Kevin Brown. And Tony Smith, for the first time tonight, really all smiles. Richie Mathers, Lee Breers, Darryl Clark around him, ready to celebrate a big night for the Warrington Wolves with a World Club Series victory. And then it's back to the bread and butter of Super League. And Brisbane Broncos will be on the plane. The players will be on the plane tomorrow. The management get another day in Manchester. How does that work out?
They've been tuned in to watch the Wigan-Cronulla game, I think, in preparation for the NRL season.
That hasn't been mentioned in the itinerary I've heard.
Reviewing the game, Bill, without any distractions from the players.
Here is Josh Maguire, and Maguire almost finding a way through, but good tackle from Brad Dwyer. Here's Milford, and Milford trying to weave his way through. That's the 5th tackle.
We've not seen enough of that from Milford tonight.
Ben Hunt. Hunt stabs a little kick in. Corey Oates stretching out, looking for a second try, but couldn't ground it.
Yeah, the big winger just couldn't get down. But again, it's because because the pressure from Kurt Gidley. He's in his eye line. He didn't make it a clean kick. Clever kick from Hunt. Well weighted. Lands just before the try line, and Kurt Gidley throws his body in front of the big man. Otherwise, that would have been a try. We would have had one hell of a finish.
They brought on young Harvey Lavetti. He's probably going to get his first run with the ball. There it is. Good memory for a career. Almost got through, didn't it? Through the line.
He is a good player, him. Really been impressed with him when I've seen him play. The rattle there, Brisbane, obviously.
Ben Westwood, another highlight of his long and illustrious career, about to be celebrated. And another highlight for the coach, Tony Smith. He won the 2005 World Club Challenge with Leeds against Canterbury, so this is another big scalp for him.
Well, it just opened up, didn't it, for Brad Dwyer? Didn't know who to give the ball to. Again, Kevin Brown, was he looking to knock that off the pitch?
Was that the first duff kick of the night? And it's come in the 79th minute.
Paul said he's had a poor kicking game.
Why did they pay all that money for him?
Move! Referee, goal, 2.
And Brisbane, well,
3.
it's been a good... If they wanted a good physical workout, this has fitted the bill.
Bill, they've had a battle. Not everything's gone their way. They've been met with committed forwards in a Warrington shirt who've really ramped up. They've ran hard, they've tackled hard. The outside backs have been creative.
5.
For me, the most pleasing aspect of this game, besides Warrington's victory, was the speed and the manner in which it's been played. We've not had a great deal of wrestling. The tackles have been fast. The game's been frenetic at times, but that's made it fun to watch.
And Gidley has been outstanding at full-back. 34 years of age, but a real master at the back. Savelio, you could go across the field for Warrington. Outstanding performers. Andre Savelio in this second half has been outstanding. Here is Joe Westerman, who's continued his good form from last week in France.
Well, I was just thinking that when we're naming players, who's played well. They've all played well.
Brad Dwyer.
Well, Joe Westerman might want to finish the season playing under Wayne Bennett, not against Wayne Bennett in the World Cup. He's been outstanding, and he's certainly going to be in a chance of being in that England squad.
Declan Patton with a grubber kick into touch. The clock counting down. Tony Smith very, very satisfied, but the dust will settle on this, and then they'll turn their attention to a very tasty Super League game against the Castleford Tigers to come. It's back to business.
Well, they couldn't be any more confident going into that game, could they? It's a red-hot Castleford side.
And they're just waiting for the hooter to sound now. Nobody wanted to form this scrum. And Warrington, who went into the game slight underdogs against the mighty Brisbane Broncos, with players missing, Ratchford, Hill, Curry on the sidelines. Well, their young guns have grown today, and the wise heads in the side have really stood up and shown their class as well. The likes of Kevin Brown and Kurt Gidley. The hooter sounding, last play of the game, and the tackle completed. And it's James Roberts who's rounded up and bundled into touch, and Warrington Wolves
In that nice to
the
see.
World Club Series off to a victorious start. Kevin Brown, the ring